Welcome to Your Business, Your Life with Matt DeFrancesco, your personal financial technician. Whether you've had years of success in your business or just starting out, HighLift Financial can help you create a vision for your business, life, and family, and align these for generational wealth. So as they say, what happens in your life affects your business. And now, on to the show. Hello, and welcome to Your Business, Your Life with your host, Matt DeFrancesco, me. So as you will see, I'm actually by myself today. And part of the reason was, as I record this, we're approaching the holidays. So probably by the time you're listening to this, we're into the new year. And so first off, I hope everybody had a great holiday and is looking forward to a happy and prosperous new year. So as I've been thinking about what I wanted to talk about today, I wanted to plant 3 seeds in your mind about areas I think you should look at as we come into 2022. And these are issues that I'm running across with the clients that I'm working with, and also people that I'm talking to that are looking to become potential clients. So I figured I would address these issues to kind of plant some seeds to hopefully get you to start thinking about some of these things, because January is a good time to kind of reevaluate and reassess and start putting plans in place to accomplish the things that you want to, not only for this year, but for the years to come. So the first area is, it's a big problem that all shop owners that I'm talking to are running into. And this is that idea of cash flow and the inability to get parts. And, this is one that's really in many ways sometimes out of our control, especially the parts issue. We can't control the suppliers, things being backlogged on docks, truckers not being able to get stuff out. It's really becoming a challenge to get parts. And for the collision shop owner, I'm finding it's causing a lot of stress because, again, it's delaying jobs. And of course, the customers, are not getting their cars back in a timely manner. So there's not a whole lot that we can do to really, increase the supply chain. But I think from a cash flow basis, there are some things that you can look to do to help to mitigate that. The first one is really to kind of take a basic personal finance principle, like just, putting away the first 10% that you make and keeping it in an emergency fund. We did this with a lot of clients, especially during COVID, when, again, the businesses were shut down. Now in the collision space, again, being an essential business, many of them didn't experience that. But in some of the other businesses and with the owners that I work with there, we had done this, and it really helped them to stem some of their cash flow problems during COVID. And so this is the one thing I'm recommending. I know, especially when you're looking at a time when cash flow is tight, that this can be difficult, but look to try to figure out a way that you can continually take at least some revenue and just kind of put it away on the side as an emergency fund. As this builds up, it will help to address those times when we can't get parts or that our cash flow seems to be lagging behind. So just a little strategy there, but there's other things that we can do to try to mitigate this. And again, every individual circumstance is going to be a little different. So again, if you ever want to reach out and talk to me about it, feel free to do so. And if you've listened to the podcast, you can go to my website, highliftfinancial.com, and just at the top right-hand side, you'll see a Let's Chat there, and you can just schedule time to get on my calendar. So that's the first area. I think the second area that we need to look at is how are we going to mitigate taxes for 2022? Now, right now, tax bill did not get passed, so we're still under the same tax laws that were in place since President Trump was in office. But there is talk that the Congress does want to change some things, raise some marginal rates on higher income earners, change capital gains taxes, those type of things. And I think these are all things that we want to at least have a plan in place in case that should come. Now, again, there's a lot of different strategies to do this, whether it's revamping or restructuring a retirement plan. It could be utilizing other strategies to be able to put away additional money as on a tax deferred basis that we would pay in taxes. There's a lot of different strategies. So, but it's something I just, again, want to put on your radar to think about as we move forward. So that's the second thing. The third one, and this is one that it's kind of interesting, because it depends really where you are in the spectrum of where your head is on this one. But I think it's a good idea to begin just thinking about how are you going to transition the business. Now, I know owners come across the board. I talk to owners that have been in business for a while, but they maybe only have young kids and they're still just grinding and, and moving cars through. I've got other owners who are closer to my age and starting to think, hey, or maybe even a little older and saying, I'm done. I just can't do this anymore. The ones that are in that stage, this is where it's really critical that we come up with a plan to be able to make sure that you can transition the business in the way that you want without sacrificing money, whether it's through a transition through the family, and possibly not having kids or employees that can run the business properly, that would keep, give you cash flow in retirement, or selling the business and not having it structured properly to be able to maximize what you get out of the business. For those owners that are younger and still it's not, their kids are young or they're just not quite thinking about this, I think it's a good idea to start thinking about it and think about, what do we want? Do we want to create a family legacy with this business? Is this business one of the vehicles to do that? Is this something, look, I don't want my kids to have to do this. I don't want them to have to work as hard as I do. Either there's no right or wrong answer to this, but what I think it's a good idea is to start to think what you want to do. And this is where I help my clients in many different ways to be able to create a vision for their family and to be able to say, here's how the business fits into this vision, and then help to create a plan to be able to accomplish that vision. And in the meantime, we look at ways that we can, protect against risks, life events that happen, divorces, death, disability, those type of things. Looking at ways that we can mitigate tax liabilities. If taxes go up or all of a sudden we've had great years and we are getting hit with huge tax bills, what are some structures that we can put in place to be able to mitigate that? And also just to address the wrenches that life throws at us, as I like to call it. How do we address those things? One thing that I've done is I've assembled a virtual team that we can, and again, you can listen to past podcasts. I've interviewed many of those people that are on the team. I've also talked about how this virtual team works, but basically, in areas, whether it's in your business, we have access to operational people that can help you to function more properly as a business, to help to raise the value of that business, but also outside events, whether it's elder care planning, whether it's long-term care planning, college planning. If you're looking at having your kids go to college, there's some advanced strategies to do those type of things. Maybe there's psychological issues that need to be addressed within the family. I have access to therapists that we can help to get to the family to address those issues. There's just so many, sales and marketing, employee benefits to help consolidate and find the best prices on those type of things. These are not areas that are part of my expertise, but I have experts on my team that can help that. And I know enough about this stuff to be dangerous, as I always say, but I can at least speak the language and help you to coordinate those solutions. So those are basically the three things that I think every business owner, but especially the collision shop owner, should be thinking about right here at the beginning of 2022. So we want to look at basically how are we going to manage cash flow, and how are we going to address deficiencies in cash flow, and also, the part situations that they're running into. How do we mitigate taxes so we're not paying more than we need to? And then the third one is starting to create a long-term vision on what we want to see the business be for our families and what we want to see our family legacy to become as we move on down the road. And again, these plans are always evolving. And, I tell people all the time, I don't do financial planning. I do financial road mapping. And what that means is it gives us a plan to work off of, but we also are able to adjust as the things in life, the different challenges in life hit us. And I think it's really important to always be able to adjust that. As I call it, it's kind of like if you're old enough, if you're my age or older, you might remember the old AAA trip tickets where you would get the map and they would outline, put in highlighter how to get from point A to point B. But the nice thing about the triptych is that, again, if there was construction, if there was an accident or whatever, something that would detour us, we could very easily see how to detour around this. And that's really what I try to do with my clients. So anyway, that's basically what I just wanted to address. I hope everybody has a great new year. Let's make 2022 a prosperous one. I know there's many challenges out there. Right now we're still dealing with COVID. We're dealing with the supply issues. There's still the political unrest that's out there. But I think if we just maintain a proper mindset and plan ahead, Stephen Covey says, the more we plan ahead, that's what he calls a quadrant 2 activity, the less we're going to have to deal with the urgent activities that come up and putting out the fires. So that's really where I come in to help. Feel free to reach out to me. Go to my website, highliftfinancial.com, click on Let's Chat. Be more than happy to have a 20, 30-minute conversation with you just to see where you stand and see if I might be able to help you. And the one thing I always tell people is that even if I can't help you, I promise you that I will get you pointed in the right direction, because my one goal is to always provide value to anybody that I talk with. So anyway, I want to thank you for listening. If you like the podcast, please click the subscribe button below. That way, anytime a new episode comes out, it'll download directly to your device, and it also makes it very easy to share. Also, if you're looking at YouTube, please feel free to share this video with your friends and family or anybody you feel might be able to benefit from this. And also, if you like the content that we've been doing, and we've got some really great guests coming up here for 2022, but please give us a 5-star review, because that way kind of moves us up on the list and we can get to more people. So I hope everybody has a great 2022. I'm looking forward to chatting with you guys here as we move forward into the year. So take care, God bless, and have a great day. Hey, I really want to thank you for listening to the Your Business, Your Life podcast. If you want to be notified when new episodes become available, click the subscribe button below.
The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of High Lift Financial. The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investment, legal, or tax advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified professional with any questions you may have regarding your business or personal planning. DeFrancesco Financial Concierge, LLC, DBA High Lift Financial, is a registered investment advisor. Registration with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission or any state security authority does not imply a certain level of skill or training.